He walked the halls of America's most secretive building, a man everyone trusted. Yet he carried the power to destroy lives with a single glance, a single file, a single decision.
A greedy spy who terrified countries from Russia to United States of America. KGB to CIA got controlled, and hear what President Clinton said.
Informed about the arrest of the CIA employee and his wife for espionage.
Fate of dozens of U.S. spies hung in the balance, unseen, unknown, until it was far too late. He moved silently, blending in with the loyal, the diligent, the devoted, while selling their lives, their missions, their country, to the very enemy they had spent decades fighting. This was not a shadowy agent in a foreign land. This was the man inside, the man everyone believed was on their side, the man who would become one of the most dangerous double agents in American history, Aldrich Ames. Born in 1941 in River Falls, Wisconsin, Ames seemed unremarkable at first glance. A typical American upbringing, a studious young man fascinated by languages. He went on to study Russian at the University of Chicago, then joined the CIA in 1962. Trained in the delicate art of counterintelligence, he learned to track Soviet agents, analyze patterns, and protect the nation from threats unseen. He became skilled, meticulous, disciplined, but ambition and dissatisfaction were already gnawing at him. Married to Cecilia, father to a daughter, Ames appeared to live a normal life. Yet behind the ordinary, the seeds of betrayal were quietly growing. By 1985, stationed in the Soviet Eastern European Division of CIA counterintelligence, Ames knew every U.S. asset in Moscow, their routines, vulnerabilities, and secrets. And then, he crossed the line. The KGB made contact, though historians suggest Ames himself reached out. Debt, greed, ambition, and the quiet thrill of control drove him. The first handoff was small, a minor document exchanged for a modest sum. But it was enough to prove trust. And once trust was established, there was no turning back. By the late 1980s, Ames had perfected the art of living two lives. At the office, he was the model CIA officer, diligent, precise, loyal. At home, he indulged in a lavish lifestyle, far beyond the limits of his official salary, a mansion in McLean, luxury cars, foreign vacations. Yet no one suspected a thing. Every envelope of documents passed to the KGB carried lives in its folds. Dozens of agents arrested, imprisoned, executed. Entire networks vanished overnight. The cost of his betrayal was unimaginable, and yet invisible to those around him. By 1989, suspicions began to arise within the CIA. Operations collapsed without explanation. Patterns emerged. The possibility of a mole became undeniable. But Ames was careful, meticulous, watching the investigators as closely as they watched him. Every report, every log, every meeting was calculated to maintain the facade. The perfect spy, he had learned, is invisible. The human cost of his deception was staggering. Lives were lost, operations destroyed, families shattered. Ames did not pull the trigger. He did not plant the bomb. But in the eyes of those who died because of him, he might as well have. The first cracks in his armor appeared in the early 1990s. Unexplained deposits appeared in his bank accounts. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, tracing back to a source he could not hide. Combined with collapsing operations in Moscow, investigators began to focus on him. Surveillance intensified, financial audits were conducted, and slowly, the truth began to surface. February 21st, 1994. Ames was arrested at his home. Agents moved quietly, decisively. His wife, Cecilia, was shocked, unable to comprehend that the man she knew, the man she trusted, had spent nearly a decade selling secrets to the Soviet Union. Under interrogation, Ames confessed, at least 100 CIA agents had been compromised, many executed as a direct result of his actions. The full scope of his betrayal was staggering. He pleaded guilty and received a sentence of life imprisonment without parole. The CIA was forced to rebuild shattered networks, revise operational procedures, and cope with the psychological weight of so many lost lives. Aldrich Ames's name became synonymous with ultimate betrayal, a chilling reminder that the greatest threats often come from within. Even years later, the repercussions are felt. Security protocols were tightened, psychological screenings intensified, lessons learned, but the ghosts of executed agents and dismantled operations linger, permanent reminders of what one man can destroy. Today, in a high-security prison in Colorado, Ames sits alone. A Mont Blanc pen rests on his desk, a silent relic of the documents he once handled, the secrets he sold, and the lives lost. His story is a warning, a study in ambition, greed, and human frailty. Aldrich Ames infiltrated the CIA. He betrayed his colleagues, he changed the course of intelligence history, and his name endures, not for brilliance, but for destruction. The spy who walked the halls of Langley, the man whose ambition eclipsed loyalty, remains a cautionary figure. Loyalty cannot be assumed. Trust must be earned. Ambition, unchecked, can destroy everything in its path. Aldrich Ames, the spy who infiltrated the CIA, is proof.